What's up, citizens of Gotham? Government Secrets Live, ladies and gentlemen. Live Government Secrets. Lee Camp should be joining us momentarily, folks. Let's see what we've got here. All right. Kelly Jones, Gina G, Den McCartney, Hazmat, Schultze. Hello, everybody. This is a great show. Triana Be Fine. Good to have everybody. I'm also streaming live on the Rockfin. I'm going to push this out. I forgot to push this out on the social media. Everybody push it out on your social media, please. That will help get us fancy viewers, ladies and gentlemen. No, that's not what I wanted. All right. We're going to bring Lee here in a second, everybody. Hit the like button and all that. Share this out on your social media. And anybody, great way to support the show is to do the super chats. So when you do that, I will answer those after Lee and I discuss our GovSeeks. I'm going to push this out on Twitter. All right. Let's bring Lee on in. Lee, can you hear me?
Hello. Yes. How you doing?
I'm good, dude. How are you?
I'm all right. Could you not say push it out? That sounds too fecal related.
Could you just open your social media sphincter and
I mean, I often view using Twitter as pretty similar to defecation. It does. A lot of it feels like it's just people shitting all over their computer screen. But
folks, defecate out this Government Secrets live stream. Get your adult diapers on, folks. It's time for another Government Secrets.
I hope we get some good people on this time. I just did a live stream where I told everybody to come over here. So hopefully some of them are here, and hopefully it goes much better than my live stream did where I had the standard 85-year-old problem of like, I'm trying to share the screen. Can you guys hear me? Nobody. Okay, they're saying they can't hear me. They're saying they only see a photo of my grandmother. No, that's not right.
Oh. It sounds like probably 50% of the time I do this show is me fumbling around with some sort of tech issue, like I'm 90. Like, okay, is the number to repair the YouTube in the yellow pages? Like, what do I do? Like,
well, just don't get your tubes crossed.
Folks, dial into our 800 number and you can oh, all right. Hold on. I'm just something I want to look for real quick. That we were talking about earlier. Video. Hold on. All right. Oh, here it is. I got that for that segment. Sweet. All right. All right. You ready to? What number is this?
Oh God, I have no idea. 7 or 8 or something.
9, maybe. We already done
9.
8. It's 9, I think.
No idea. Not even sure where I am right now.
I'm Graham Elwood. We've met before.
Which episode of Redacted Tonight is this? I don't know.
Yeah, it is. Oh man, it was about a little over a year ago that we were in DC, and Ron and I did Redacted Tonight. That was awesome.
Oh, was that a year ago? Huh?
Well, it's like,
Back during the age when people could see each other in person.
yeah, it seems like a million years ago. I might as well just
Yeah.
be talking about when I was in college. So all right, I don't know. Is it your turn to introduce or mine?
Sure. I think maybe mine. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Government Secrets number 9. We think
Maybe government secrets. Unclear about the episode number. Because the CIA won't let us number the episodes. Let's blame the CIA. Because you and I
episode number, insert episode number here. I think that should do fine.
Do it. Make up whatever number you want. You know what I mean? We're hippies.
Yeah,
so
we are. Actually, I don't believe in math. I've never been good at it. Don't believe in it.
I don't
just
assign an emotion to this episode. Government secrets. Emotion.
That'd be the most hippie thing we could do. Government Secrets episode purple.
Folks, assign your own chakra stone to today's episode, and that'll be what this is. And folks, please, if you're just watching this live or you're new to it, this actually is an audio podcast that we release. It's on Libsyn. But it's on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud. So download
Spotify, I believe.
Yes. So any of the places, that always helps the show, just downloading it, and like positive comments in iTunes, especially like 5-star reviews and comments, that helps push it out and helps the algorithm. And I think we put it in the news section. We didn't put it in comedy.
Oh, I have no idea. I thought it was food. I thought we were under food shows.
We are. This is a food show. We're going to give government secret cooking tips.
You guys don't know it, but I've been cooking some brilliant dishes. But I didn't realize you weren't filming my hands. I've been cooking during every episode.
Oh my God, that's fantastic!
I've never mentioned.
That'll be the next series. The next episode will just be all of the things Lee's cooked that we didn't know he was cooking. That'll be a government secret.
Yeah, that'll be one of the secrets. But yeah, for everybody, you should check past. And if you're new to this, you should check past episodes because, we've covered some of the classics like the assassination of Martin Luther King, assassination of RFK. I think we've done so far. And we're gonna keep getting into some of the classics, but we also kind of do the government secrets of the day. This one I could put it. It's under both. It's under both of the day, and it's under the past, because the day we're filming this, although the podcast will come out in a couple of days, we're filming this on 9/11. Not sure if you've heard of that number, but to the crazy people in other countries, it's 11/9. Because you're fucking backwards. Get your shit together. And but I want to talk about the 28 pages which was revealed, and people who are like really study this shit, they of course know that the 28 pages was revealed, but a lot of people, this kind of like flew under the radar and they never really cared much, and it didn't get hardly any media play. But 28 pages of the official report on 9/11 was redacted, and everyone wondered what the fuck was in it for 12 years, from like 2004 to 2016. And then it comes out, the 28 pages are finally declassified. And for the most shocking, I'd say the most shocking revelation from those 28 pages is that when they finally release them, it turns out they're 29 pages. I mean, what?
Added a page, or what happened?
How could the 28 pages be 29 pages? That is the largest government secret. So they unredact these 28, 29 pages, and basically most of it just shows that the hijackers were completely connected to Saudi Arabia, the Saudi Arabian government. Saudi Arabian government was paying some of these people, and I think the more important thing is that the reason they needed to redact these pages is because they were in the midst of the war in Iraq. They had convinced the entire nation that we needed to invade Iraq after 9/11, despite the fact that they already had all of this evidence showing that it was connected to Saudi Arabia.
Which is just like, I mean, the thin line to invade Afghanistan, you could kind of see it at the time. Like, okay, the Taliban gave them the safe haven, but it all kind of.
Well, yeah, you should always obliterate a nation who gives safe haven to someone you don't like.
Right.
They happen to be there. So, just fucking blow them into fucking caveman times.
Yeah. And then that was like, okay, kind of get it at the time, just at the time. But the Iraq thing made no sense. And tying to Saddam Hussein, who we backed in the Iran-Iraq war in the 80s, of course. And then the refusal to ever acknowledge that it was mostly Saudis. Like, and anytime, like when Khashoggi was murdered by the Saudi government, we talked about how that was awful, or the corporate media talked about how that was awful, not us, but like they talked about how that was awful, but then again, never talked about the 9/11 bombers being.
Well, because Khashoggi was one of the elite. He was the Washington Post, writer. He is part of that oligarchy. And so, it's not that I don't think any journalist, even ones I think, maybe are working for a corporate hack outlet, I don't think they should be murdered and dismembered. So I'm not saying this is an okay thing, but it's like, that's why there was this true outrage from the kind of journalist and elite class, because it was one of them that was killed. And so that changed everything. And something else, speaking of Khashoggi, something else, a government secret that came out this week is that Trump said on these phone calls to Bob Woodward that he saved his name slipped my mind, but what's his face, the Prince of Saudi Arabia, who basically ordered Khashoggi to be executed. And so Trump on these phone calls is bragging that he's like, I saved his life. I saved the Prince of Saudi Arabia from getting in trouble for killing this guy.
And Woodward knew about this stuff for 3 years and did nothing and just waited till his book came out.
It wasn't 3 years. I thought he had these conversations starting last December, I think.
Okay, so a little over.
So he knew about it for months. Yeah,
months, and just was like, "Wow, my book's coming out. I can't, I mean, I can keep writing on my Watergate fame another 9 months and just let that slide," which is like.
Like if he had revealed this back when the other big thing that they're saying is that Trump has said on these phone calls that he knew the pandemic was incredibly harmful and a lot of people would die. He knew back in January, February. And it's like, if Bob Woodward had come forward with that in February, it would have completely changed the American response to this shit.
Yes. It would have been like, the media would have been like, okay. And all of the people who don't like Trump would have had actual valid ammunition rather than just Trump bad, Russia Trump. They could say, oh, wow, he's turning a blind eye to this disease. And, Woodward, that guy, man, I just watched all the President's Men and, great work back in the 70s, but just like anybody, they get older and wealthier and comfortable. And
yeah, well, he and Bernstein is another one. Jesus Christ. You ever watch Bernstein on MSNBC? He is like frothing at the mouth Russia gator on the level of like Keith Olbermann or something, like traitors, Russia, Putin. And you're like, Jesus Christ, man, get a hold of yourself. These were the great journalists of the last era. And now they're just kind of largely corporate hacks. But Another. Now we're on the topic. I realize we've gotten afar from the 28 pages, but sure. It's worth it. Sometimes the government secrets, they just spindle off into these other tentacles, and you've got to talk about a bunch of them. But speaking of Woodward, Matt Orfala, who is an independent journalist, does these videos on YouTube, did this great video where he took all of Woodward. Woodward did one of these. You ever see the ads on YouTube for these online courses, like learn how to write a shit TV show, learn how to masturbate harder than anyone ever has, like all that stuff.
Which is it is a great class, and there's a coupon code that you can use in this channel.
As long as there's a coupon code, I'll do fucking anything. I don't give a shit. I'll be like, wait, I wasn't gonna pierce my nipples, but there's a coupon code. I don't really have a choice.
All right, if there's a coupon code, I got to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, gotta do it at that point. And so Woodward has a class on one of those classes on YouTube for journalism, how to be a good journalist. And Matt Orfalea took all of the times that Woodward said that basically the way to be a good journalist and what he does all the time is get sources to reveal classified or covered up information. Like, that is their job. That is, if they're doing it right, you find out secrets by the government or by an organization and you reveal them. That is what a good journalist does. Well, guess what? That's what Julian Assange has been tortured for all these years in solitary confinement and is currently being prosecuted for, is that same shit. And here's Woodward, and I don't know. I don't think Woodward has stood up for Assange much. I don't know whether he has at all. Maybe he hasn't at all. But anyway, here's Woodward saying basically exactly what Julian Assange has done is exactly what journalism is.
Well, that's the thing that is so maddening. And again, this is relevant to a certain extent because the 28 pages is something that WikiLeaks has, discussed, and WikiLeaks has uncovered all this stuff, is the people like Bob Woodward who are noticeably silent about Julian Assange. Maybe they said one little thing in an interview that was kind of in support of him or whatever, but he should be screaming from the mountaintops. Bernstein, instead of yelling about Russia, like I don't know, drinking too much contaminated water, Keith Olbermann, but like really should be like, they should be, those two guys especially should be screaming from the mountaintops. They should be like, hey man, before we got there, before we did Watergate, Ben Bradley and the Washington Post, had to go in front of the Supreme Court to defend the Pentagon Papers. So this is just, they should be screaming that, and they're not. Like, it's the silence is almost almost worse than trying to smear WikiLeaks or Julian Assange in some cases, because it's like,
in my opinion, it almost doesn't matter who the journalist is, what they've worked on and everything. If they don't support Julian Assange and really support him on a regular basis, then they are fucking hacks. Right. I mean, you can't set this precedent of a journalist. He's not even American, and his organization is not American. And you can't see a fellow journalist being prosecuted in this way and just allow it to happen without being a fucking sad sack of shit. I mean, like a really gruesome sack of shit. It's just like dripping out of the corners, and like, someone's left it there for a long time. So it's like an old sack of shit. Like, just, yeah.
I was like, wow, you're really describing it as an old sack of shit.
I was impressed you kept a straight face for most of it. But
well, I was waiting for a coupon code.
Oh, okay.
I was like, well, then I'll buy one.
Listen, I'd buy a sack of shit if it had a coupon code.
Telling you, this is like government secret sack of shit 2020. That's the coupon. I get 20% off. I'm in. I'm into that sack of shit. Yep. I'm so in for that. So no, it's just more of the insane hypocrisy. And again, since today is the anniversary of 9/11, which was obviously a horrifying event, we've been at war in Afghanistan for 19 years. Like, that's another, and we've talked about before on this show, the Afghanistan papers. Why are we still, I mean, and the equation I always, so you draw 9/11 to Pearl Harbor, right? Imagine if we were still fighting in Europe and Japan and, the South in 1960. Yeah. Imagine that. Like,
exactly.
Nobody, it's half the country doesn't even know we're still at war there. Like, we're sending 18-year-olds there who were born after 9/11.
Or imagine if we were still in Vietnam in the 80s.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
it's like
crazy.
I mean, so wait a minute. We pulled out of Vietnam in 1975 was when the last troops left, right? So 19 years after that would be 1994. So imagine everybody, 1994, we're still in Vietnam. Like, that is insane to me. And, you and I talked a little bit off camera about this. I'm not, my view on people asked, Graham, what do you think? Was it fake? Did they know about 9/11? Was it planned or whatever? My view is like, I don't know. Maybe, but at the very least, I think it's like Pearl Harbor, where there's these rumors that have floated over the years of how FDR kind of knew the Japanese were going to attack. That's why all these high level officers got pulled out of there. And he kind of let it happen because he knew America at the time didn't want to get involved in World War II that had already been going on for several years in Europe, and Americans didn't want to get into it. And my guess is at the very least, because people have asked me a lot on this show, and I'm sure you're asked a lot, like, what are your views on that? At the very least, Bush and Cheney and them knew something was going to happen, and they just let it happen so they could justify this crazy war budget and being in the military industrial complex, profiting for the last 19 years.
Yeah. I think it was allowed to happen. I think there are a million questions that I don't have the answers to because so much has been covered up. I think that there's certain things that people point to as proving the whole thing was like fake, which it's like, no, I absolutely think they shot Flight 93 out of the sky because they didn't know where it was going, stuff like that. So it's like, so much was covered up. I did a segment on Redacted tonight where the University of, I think it was Alaska or something, but officially did like a computer simulation of a building, with thousands of data points and all this shit. And you can look it up, and in terms of Building 7, and it's like, I don't fucking know what happened to Building 7, but I can tell you it is fucking weird that it came down hours later, whatever it was, 7 or 10 hours later or something, and was not hit by an airplane.
Right.
and if you were to, Building 7 sounds like a small building, but if you were to see that in any city other than New York City, other than next to the Twin Towers, that would be one of the largest skyscrapers you've ever seen. Right. And I have no answers. I have no answers to it, but I think that at the very least, they absolutely allowed this to happen. They knew it was, he received the documents saying an attack was imminent. They were watching these people at these flight schools. They had later they had these 28 pages where it was clearly connected to Saudi Arabia. They flew all the bin Ladens out of the country the following day. I mean, none of that is debatable. So it's like, you don't need to picture Bush in the building at midnight with a bag of thermite to understand how fucked up this was. Like, it's phenomenally, horribly fucked up.
With a backpack of thermite. Like, no.
Just sprinkling. I picture him in like Peter Pan tights, just sprinkling it around like, I imagine that's how he'd do it. But the point is still the same, that this is a phenomenal crime of epic proportions. Right. And just so horrific, and people, stop talking about it. They move on as if this is something to just get used to, when it really, really is not. The
thing is, like, again, there's I don't immediately just go, oh, they planned, like you said, Bush blew them. Like, I need more evidence than that for me personally. But the on the other side of it, the just asking any question automatically makes me a 9/11 denier. Like that other reaction that usually comes from the corporate media or the whatever. Like, we should be allowed to ask these questions. We should be allowed to ask why these things that you stated that are fact. Like, why was the bin Laden family?
Can you stop going down this path? It's making me very uncomfortable.
Yeah, could you
could you just stop talking about asking questions, please?
No, because it's like, and the reason we should, and when you ask the question and people say, well, you're trampling on the memory of the people that died and the first responders, and it's like, actually, no. I think all the more reason. It's like,
yeah. Anytime you ask questions of why someone died, your friend was murdered. Well, who killed him? You were trampling on his grave.
It's like, no, I want to know. Like, and if we were lied to, the American people were lied to, and all these people gave their lives. I mean, I didn't know anybody personally, but I knew people that lost someone they knew in New York. And it was a significant event for all of us. It made me reevaluate being I was just a game show host comedian at that point, and I joined the Red Cross and I started doing the tours to Iraq and Afghanistan, and I felt like,
I mean, if any positive came out of this, I think it was stopping your game show career, really. I've often said 9/11 served its purpose.
Well, Lee, we're going to get you into the bonus round with a cash and points double. We'll be right back with more game show secrets. Wink Martindale works for the CIA. Anyway, I can't say that officially. But yeah, please, folks, go on YouTube and look up Strip Poker, Graham Elwood. You're going to have a great time. You're going to see me in shiny shirts and sideburns.
Was that you?
That was me. That was me. So anyway, yeah. So let's talk about the 28 pages, then the 29th one, and let's ask the questions about Saudi Arabia's involvement. That should be asked. And the bigger, the other question, and we'll move on, I guess, at this point, is why are we still in Afghanistan? Like, again, if we were in Vietnam in 1994, if we were in Japan and Europe in 1960, that is what is happening now. It's the year 2020. This happened in 2001. So like nobody back then was like, this war will still be going on in 19 years. That's just preposterous. So, and
as the, every once in a while, your mainstream media will do a little blip of actual journalism where they go, maybe we'll do our jobs for like 8 seconds of the year. And if you look at Washington Post's Afghanistan papers, it shows that every administration down the line, Bush, Obama, Trump, it's just been utter lies about Afghanistan, about the goals, about, when we'll get out of there, about whether we're making progress. I mean, Obama gave grand speeches in front of fucking up armored Humvees and shit behind him at I think a base in Afghanistan, saying, we're going to come home by 2014 and all this shit. And it turns out it was all horseshit. It wasn't like he was being optimistic. It was like he and the administration and the military knew there was no real goal. There was no real exit strategy. And then on top of that, you have Trump saying he's bringing troops home from Afghanistan. Then the following day, it turns out Russia paid all the Taliban. And then all of a sudden the troops aren't coming home or whatever. And so the Afghanistan papers, which only came out this year, just showed for a fact that there is no plan of getting out of there, because the truth is, having whatever the fuck Afghanistan is, a failed state with basically a U.S. government occupation, is much better for the U.S. empire than any other possibility. They don't want to leave a puppet in place that might lose his power, and they don't want to do a full occupation where they claim it's an American territory, because that would cause a lot of problems. So they're perfectly happy with this fucking catastrophe as it is.
Yeah. And it's so similar to the Pentagon Papers. The Pentagon Papers revealed that JFK knew, Eisenhower knew, Truman, for Vietnam, they just and the same, very similar. Nobody had any, Robert McNamara, nobody had any, the generals were like, we can't win this. There's no end in sight. And Obama, who said he was going to pull us out of Iraq and Afghanistan, pulled troops out kind of, and then kept them in there and kept the bombing going and kept the special ops missions going. So it never.
No, but the surge was under Obama, right? So he actually sent more troops.
Yeah, he surged. I mean, he surged in Afghanistan. He pulled us out of Iraq, but surged in Afghanistan. And again, it was all these. I mean, we could have gone in if Afghanistan was as they said, right? Okay, they gave safe harbor, and they created 9/11. We got control of the country very quickly, and then we could have done what we did in World War II, which was the Marshall Plan, and what we did in Japan, and help rebuild them. And we should be right now. There's commercial flights to Kabul, and you can go and visit it the way you could in Europe in the 50s and the early 60s. The Tokyo Olympics was 1964, and that was this sort of gesture of it's 20 years since World War II. This is the new Japan, and all of that stuff. But we didn't. We just kept the bombing going and kept the nonsense and kept the no strategy. Just bomb this place and this guy, we got this guy. Yeah, like none of it. They didn't put any real money into. That was part of the rebuilding of after World War II, was to bring these countries that had dictators back into like democracy.
But you've got to be excited at least, Graham, that we've killed 27 Al-Qaeda number ones. So that's something.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
something.
And it's done. It's been so effective, and then we.
Well, the Al-Qaeda was on the ropes until we decided to train them to fight in Syria, and give them weaponry. But before that, they were having a rough time. So
yeah, and then we pulled the troops out of Iraq, and then weird ISIS popped up, and then Shireen Hashim found out we were funneling through bases in Turkey, and then weird she had a car accident. Another journalist that the Anderson Coopers and the Rachel Maddows of the world don't seem to mention ever.
Yeah. Speaking about that, it might be a good time to segue into story number 2.
Secret. Oh, there was a horn at the end. I don't know what happened.
Which I thought we could talk a little more about Assange and what's going on with his trial this week. Because obviously he is so crucial. He's so crucial to truth. He's so crucial to so much that has happened in the past 2 decades. And I won't go through everything about Assange because I think they've heard it a lot. People have heard it a lot. But what people might not realize is what happened this week is, so he's already been tortured via basically solitary confinement in Belmarsh prison, which is a prison in the UK, the harshest prison in the UK, mainly reserved for terrorists and killers, and then a publisher who published things they didn't like. Yeah. Doesn't it sound weird that he's in that prison? So in this trial, first of all,
he had COVID-19 run through it, and they kind of kept him there.
Yeah, they didn't. His lawyers tried to get him, on like house arrest or something, so he could get away from the COVID-19 rampaging through the prisons. But no, of course not. And in his own trial, they won't let him see his lawyers very often. They don't give him access to the internet, so he can't do his own research. And in the courthouse, they keep him in a plastic box, like he's, fucking Jeffrey Dahmer, like they're going to put the, spit mask across him. And it's absolutely insane. He might publish something about you. You never know.
Don't let him speak the truth. Put him in a box.
So they have him in there like some sort of, imprisoned Tic Tac inside this clear plastic case. And what happened this week is, well, a few weeks ago, they added superseding indictments. The initial indictments were under the Espionage Act for publishing classified information. And I think that the government realized that they might actually lose that, despite the fact that the UK is bending over backwards to try and make sure that they do everything to kill or imprison Julian Assange. The U.S. government was still afraid they might lose this extradition trial because going after a journalist under the Espionage Act has never been done before and is so horrific on so many grounds. So they added a superseding indictment, or several superseding indictments, that say that Julian Assange pressured someone to hack an Icelandic bank. And also another one is about him helping Snowden evade arrest, which, by the way, there were no charges at the time against Snowden. So how is that a crime to help someone who hasn't been charged with anything evade arrest? It's not, and he's not even an American citizen. It doesn't make any sense. But also the guy who claims to have been pressured to hack the Icelandic bank is an FBI informant that the FBI basically sent to make friends with Assange so that he could run to the FBI and tell them everything. So just on every level, it's just horrific what's going on. And last point is that his defense lawyers came in this week and said, get rid of these superseding indictments. The government added them a few weeks ago. We don't even really understand them. We didn't have time to prepare for them. And here they are. It doesn't make any sense. And the judge, who is, again, bending over backwards for the U.S. government, said, no, that's okay that you had no time to prepare for these and that this is unheard of. We're going to keep those in there. And so then his defense lawyer said, well, in that case, we hate to do this because it keeps Assange in jail for an extra 6 months, but can we push this off to January? Because we need time to prepare for new indictments. And she said, No, that's all right that you haven't had any time to prepare and that that this is unheard of and this lacks complete precedent and this is a fucking sham trial. Daniel Ellsberg, the famed whistleblower, called it a Stalinist show trial. Basically a dog and pony show as if it's a trial, but in fact, it's really it's already the writing's on the wall that they're going to either extradite him or hold him in prison there for years.
It's like I'm perplexed. I guess I'm trying to figure out why are they even going through this, but I guess it's just they want to go, oh, we found him guilty because they know so many Americans and people just in the Western and in the Five Eyes countries, Australia, his home country, which is Australian government, has done nothing to protect one of their own citizens.
Well, Graham, it's the same reason that you had the poker game for the stripping. If you just do the strip, then that's too on the nose. So you got to have the poker game to have the thing in the middle where people are like, oh, it's like fun.
Yeah, you're right. It's just too weird to just like, hey, you want to take your clothes off and have sex? Like, whoa, wait a minute.
Join us at 8 p.m. on TBS for We're Taking Our Clothes Off.
Strip poker was on the USA Network, and it was one of the most socially relevant pieces of broadcasting that has ever happened, Lee. And we were snubbed for getting a Peabody Award. So
it got 3 Emmys and a Pulitzer, actually, for getting to the bottom of one of those models' bottoms. It actually got a Pulitzer.
It was the Nobel Prize for Peace for celebrating so many breast implants. It was really, it was fantastic work that we did there. And I think I should start that series again because it was really it helped. America needs it now more than ever.
Oh man, do we? Jesus Christ. I could use it just in my apartment right now.
Maybe that'll be the next episode of Government Secrets. We'll just play strip poker.
Don't give them ideas, Graham. Don't feed the trolls.
Someone's gonna put $1,000 in the super chat and go, make that happen. I paid for it. Yeah, this Assange thing is so obviously they just want to go through this. Like, I feel like I'm watching, I forget which Star Trek it was where Kirk was put on trial by the Vulcan, or by the not the Vulcans, but by the Klingon.
Oh, one of the movies, right?
Yeah, one of the movies where they're just like, glock, 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 glock. And he's like, they're all screaming and yelling at him, and he's got a translator, and it's just clearly a kangaroo trial that's broadcast all throughout the galaxy. I'm like,
oh my God. For those of you, film editor geniuses out there, can you please redo that scene with Assange's head on Kirk's body?
Please do it right now. As we speak. And tag us both on social media so we can retweet the shit out of that, and I will put it on this channel. Like, do it right now. You know what? It's like Star Trek 3 or 4 or something like that.
Yeah, it was. I remember as a kid, it was one of my favorites. Yeah, it was like the one where they brought them back. They were already old men, and they brought them back.
Yeah, is that all of them? I think
I think William Shatner was on wife number 6 or something, and they were like, let's do another Star Trek.
Wasn't it the one where William Shatner's hairpiece was on trial? Was it that one?
I think his Merkin was on trial in that one.
The Klingon Merkin trial. I remember that episode. And then they saved a whale or something. I don't remember.
There was a whale involved in an earlier one.
All right, it's in the chat. Star Trek 6, Undiscovered Country. All right. All right, nerds, get on this right now. Put Julian Assange on Kirk's head right now. Make this happen.
Oh my God. Is there a better name for a movie about William Shatner's beaver than Undiscovered Country? It doesn't get any better than that. I mean, that is pure Hollywood genius.
I think there's going to be a couple videos coming out of this segment. Advance is what I feel like. Oh, anyway, yeah, Julian Assange is clearly, and I've been reading Tarek Haddad is in the courtroom and Old Bailey, and so every day, because of the time change with the trial ends in Britain when it's still like daytime here. So he's putting on his, I think it's just tariqhaddad.com every day, kind of he wraps up sort of what happened that day and who testified. So I'm going to try to get
another good one is Kevin Gastola, who's on Twitter and Consortium News. They follow it like daily.
Yeah. So we'll see how long this kangaroo show trial happens. So maybe it's new segment, buddy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's keep it going.
Government secrets. Segment number 3. See, I added graphics now to the video.
I added graphics. God, we're so high tech here. It's incredible.
It is a tech show.
I think people tune in for the production value. I'm pretty convinced. I mean, the talking is okay, but I think they tune in for special effects.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm wearing a game show host hairpiece that I had crazy glued onto my scalp because I'm actually 78 years old, but I look fantastic.
Yeah, you do. Well done.
And these are fake work teeth.
These teeth are only 7 years old. They're doing quite well. We had my teeth's birthday the other day.
Oh, happy teeth birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, so we wanted to talk about, this one was the Exxon Mobil.
Yeah, well, it goes with the orange skies. So it's got a topical topical segue. The orange skies, the red skies in San Francisco, Oregon. I know LA has had the dark skies, which I talked to my brother who's there. It says it smells like a campfire and you can barely see the sun. So if that's not
layers of like ash on everything, like you can like write your name on if your car's been outside too long, you can like, it's like the snow, but apocalypse.
It's really nice. It's like snow, but we're all gonna die.
Yeah,
it's like
it's at the end of the world snow.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Western is on fire, and I don't know when we're going to deal with climate change. And then I watch, God, this is just a sidebar, but I see like neoliberals on social media, like, please stop voting for Republicans. I'm like, yeah, the Republicans flat out deny climate change, but these are all democratically controlled states. Like,
and how much did Obama do during his 8 years? I mean, this is a guy who bragged about laying more oil pipeline than ever before. He said it was enough to encircle the earth twice. So the idea that Obama was like Mr. Climate is so laughable.
When he had control of the House and Senate, the Democrats controlled everything. He could have passed law after law after law to make it impossible for any future president to not deal with climate change. He could have done a Green New Deal, but he didn't. So like,
and Deepwater Horizon, was under his watch. I realized he couldn't have stopped it from happening, but he could have prosecuted somebody. Yes. He could have said that BP is never allowed to operate in the United States again. Like, there's so much he could have done. Instead, we just give trillions upon trillions of dollars of subsidies to big oil.
Can you imagine if he would have they're still serving in prison. They got like a 15 to 20 year jail sentence for the CEOs of BP. What that would have done for like countries all around the world would have been like, okay, it's game on. We get to arrest all these assholes. No, you said, well, it's not good. And then took their money and.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is these guys know, as with Wall Street crimes, these guys know that the worst they'll suffer is a fine. And usually it's going to be a fine that is like a few days or weeks of their income for these big oil companies. So it's like, if it were a fine that nearly put BP out of business, then that would be a different matter. But they know they'll never face that. They know that's not how it works. They know they've got this government bought off. But to get into the government secret of this, which, most of what we've said so far is not much of a secret. Many people don't know that documents have come out showing Exxon knew clearly about climate change as early as at least the 70s.
Like 1977, they did this internal report saying climate change is real. I mean, they called it something different back then, but
I think they said global warming, and they they did talk about global emissions. Like it's not that different to the terminology we use now. I mean, ironically, climate change was a terminology pushed by Republicans, created by Republicans to make it sound nicer and softer. Like people are okay with climate change, but kind of ironically, it actually helped the climate change movement because now people can understand that when a place goes from 80 degrees to snowing the following day, that also is climate change. That's climate chaos. It's not just warming. It's all kinds of shit going down. So they kind of, shot themselves in the foot on that one. But along with the Exxon thing is an amazing Shell video that I've played on Redacted tonight. I think I've played it maybe twice because it's so mind-blowing. It's wonderful. But it's Shell Oil created in 1991 a video about climate change and about how we needed to figure out how to live on a planet that was with the climate changing and how we're going to deal with this. And oh, do you have it? Let's see.
Yeah. So here's the article about I just wanted to put up real quick about the ExxonMobil survey. It was July 77 when they did this research, and then the Exxon executives went, well, we're going to do hire an even more internal study, did another internal study that said, oh yeah, it's worse. And then Exxon around the early 80s went, yeah, let's keep this quiet. But so this is the Shell Oil climate change warning.
High quality.
Looks like our graphics.
Yeah.
The moon. In shadow, its surface temperature drops to minus 150 degrees Celsius. In sunlight, it rises to over 100. Virtually at the same distance from the sun, temperatures on Earth are much less extreme, and we owe this life-giving fact to its atmosphere, in particular to the presence of the so-called greenhouse gases.
High-tech animation.
Bands of the electromagnetic spectrum as light and heat.
You might want to skip ahead a little.
I don't know. This is exciting.
To balance this daily income from the sun, Earth radiates energy back, but only in the longer wavelengths of the infrared.
Skip like a minute ahead.
Throughout the long period of man's rise to civilization, this blanket of heat-absorbing gases has kept the average global temperature around 15 degrees Celsius, against the moon's minus 20.
You might want to skip.
But in the last 150 years, this balance has been altered.
Shot of fire.
Burn any organic matter, and its content of carbon combines with oxygen. Burning a cubic meter of natural gas produces roughly 2 kilograms of carbon dioxide. A liter of gasoline, 2.5 kilos. Burn a ton of coal, and you release up to 4 tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. The consumption of these fossil fuels has increased 100-fold. Add to this the more recent burning of the tropical forests, and the result has been a marked and accelerating increase in the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. What's more, there's been an even sharper increase in other, even more potent greenhouse gases, which absorb energy at different wavelengths, retaining even more heat in the atmosphere.
These are the same graphics from the first Star Wars, I think.
And ozone, mainly from traffic.
Stay on target.
Methane from
Stay on target.
Fields. And new to nature, the CFCs, used as blowing and cleaning agents and refrigerants. These other gases could soon be absorbing as much radiation as carbon dioxide. But has this started to make the Earth warmer? Weather is hard to predict, but records of its past behavior go back a long way. Fertile ground for the revealing eye of the computer.
I think you can stop it.
Fertile ground for the discerning eye of the computer.
But to sum it up, this shows that as that video goes on, they're basically saying, we need to fucking pay attention to this. We are filling the atmosphere with carbon dioxide, and it's very serious. And the temperature of the planet is going up. And they basically produced this video, and then apparently internally they were like, yeah, let's fucking not show anybody that. That's terrible. And so it never came out.
This is the thing that drives me insane about climate deniers. They're like,
oh, the screens are weird.
Oh, your screen is weird.
There we go.
This is the thing that drives me insane about climate deniers. They're like, oh, it's so cyclical. I go, the oil companies did their own research and said, we're killing the planet. It's global warming. It's climate change. And they covered it up. What more evidence do you need? Like, they know it's awful. And then to people that really are climate change deniers, I go, you know what? You're right. It's just a bunch of hippie. It's big green, right? It's crazy science. So why don't you pull your car into your garage, close all the doors and windows, and let the car run
and see how it goes.
And call me in the morning and just let me know.
Well, and the other thing is people like to go, dude, the planet climate has always changed. Yeah, it has over millions of fucking years, not over 10.
I know. Like, just what's happened in the last, you could look at the 100, like they show that last 100, 150 years, basically since the Industrial Revolution, since we started burning coal and other fossil fuels. But then if you just look at the last 20 years, the last 10 years, it was 100 degrees in the Arctic this summer. Yeah. Like, California's on fire. Yeah. Remember last year, Australia was the whole continent on fire. Like, what more do you need?
In just 1 week, this past week, we had some of the largest forest fires ever in California, which seems to be every year. Every year they go, oh, they're the largest ever. So largest forest fires ever in California. Also some of the largest ever in Oregon. Skies turning to red and orange, blocking out the sun. In Utah this week, you had winds so high on the highways that they were knocking over Mack trucks, like tractor trailers. Were several of them, many of them were flipping over from 90-mile-per-hour winds, not in a tornado, just happening. And then you have in Denver, it went from somewhere around 90 or 100 degrees to 30 degrees in the span of one day and snowing, like a 70-degree shift in a day.
I don't know. And there's, like, they talk about, oh, there's going to be climate refugees. We're already having them. There's mass evacuations.
Hundreds of thousands, apparently, in Oregon are now fleeing.
I have family up there. There's people that watch our shows up there. I mean, like, I know people that lost their homes in, I don't know, California, the two seasons ago, when every year, like you said, they say it's worse than they just broke a new record. So it's like, I don't know when people, and the climate refugee thing, this has been happening for a while. I mean, it's part of the things that exacerbated what happened in Syria, right? So
it helped create the Syrian civil war. Yeah.
The 5 years drought pushed all of the people out in the farmland into the city. And so there was more people there. So when all the civil war happened, I mean, and plus the economic of the drought and everything, like, I don't know. California has 45 million people in it.
Yeah.
Where are half of them going to go?
Yeah. And, I'm sorry. I know this next part's going to upset some people, but the other thing that cannot be talked about in terms of climate change is the number one cause of climate change, which is animal agriculture. The amount of water, fresh water that goes into creating a hamburger is crazy. So you'll see billboards. They put up billboards right in LA. I think that I saw photos of them that said things like, shower with a friend or something, or like they'll do announcements like, if it's yellow, let it mellow. Don't flush the toilet all the time. Yet they won't mention that a hamburger is equivalent to 2 months of your showering. Okay.
Yeah. It's like, it's another reason to go plant-based, to have a plant-based diet, to go vegan, because like dairy products, meat, it's like it's unbelievable how much resources we spend. And if there's more droughts and stuff like that, and not to, again, it just shows like if we attacked climate collapse, it's not even climate change anymore, we're in complete climate collapse. If we attacked it wholesale, there's solutions that could be made. I mean, there's algae out there. There's this mineral Olivaria that you put on the beaches, and they've already done this, and it pulls CO2 out of the air and buries it in the bottom of the ocean, and it takes about a year or two, and it's a process that naturally occurs over about 1,000 years. So they found this mineral that's readily available all throughout the planet. Algae is readily available. So there's like solutions out there that just need money.
Yeah, if we were to use all of the solutions like together, another one that recently is rock dust. Apparently because rocks suck CO2, certain kinds of rocks suck CO2 out of the air. And if you were to take rock dust and spray it onto fields, it actually helps plants grow, and it would be hugely effective because you create dust, you make more surface area of the rock, and it'd be hugely effective in taking carbon out of the air. And of course, that's not going to do it alone. It would have to be all of these things. It'd have to be stop using fossil fuels, use out, the algae solution, the rock dust. Like if we were actually rational, evolved beings, you would talk about this all together, and you would also talk about how capitalism is the idea of endless growth on a finite planet. It's absolutely, utterly impossible. It may not, even if it weren't collapsing now, it would collapse 100 years from now, because it is a definable path. You cannot have infinite growth on a planet with finite resources, and we're seeing that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we've got to be the dumbest species in the universe. Like we have to. I mean, people are like, there's no intelligent life in the universe. There has to be. They've flown by here and went, these guys are idiots. I mean, this is like the Florida of the galaxy. I mean, like they're like, these guys destroy they need breathable air and drinkable water to survive, and yet they plunder it for money. Oh God, they're morons. They're idiots. They're like the lemmings that push themselves off the cliff.
Yeah, I try and imagine, like, a million years from now when humans are all gone. I mean,
a million? Don't you mean like 20, 15?
Well, also a million, but yeah, 20 years from now when humans are all gone, but then a million years past that or whatever. Yeah, aliens come down and they try and analyze things, and they try and figure out, what it was that killed the thing that was here. And they ultimately come to the conclusion, they came up with a imaginary thing that they thought had power called money, and they then would buy up and destroy all the resources. And it's like, well, didn't they realize they needed a livable planet to keep going? And it's like, no, they thought these green pieces of paper were really important, so they just buy it all up.
And then when they uncover, like they excavate like Vegas, they're going to go, wow, these people were nuts. They were just insane. So they have this statue of, and then we found a bigger one on the other side. It's like, but this one had these machines that made this money. It was like crazy. Like, I want to explain like what a casino is to like an evolved species that finds this planet 1,000 years from now. Like, just
well, so the Fermi paradox is the idea of like you've got billions of stars in just our galaxy alone, which is billions of planets. So where is the other life forms? And there's why haven't we ever seen any sign of other life? And there's multiple answers for why this might be. One is that they're so sophisticated that they see us like ants, and they're like, why would we go fuck with those ants? Just let them do their ant thing.
Right.
But one of the ones that I don't hear often talked about is maybe the natural progression of intelligence is you get smarter and smarter, and then you just, create some sort of money system, and you just eat everything and just die because you've consumed the entire livable planet. And this is just the inevitable like path of intelligence. It's just like, then you get Gucci bags at some point along the way. And those are made by children around the other side of the globe you live on. And it's just completely unsustainable. You cut down the trees so that you can have little nice wallpaper on your house, and
It's the second one. That again presupposes that we're intelligent as a species. Like I think they've come here. They visited our planet. I think they've been here. There's all the UFOs. I believe.
No. I was saying some other intelligent species sees us as ants. We're not intelligent. We are the ants, and they're the intelligent, far and more intelligent than us. And they're like, why are we gonna stick our face in that ant hive?
And then the hive goes, well, we want Gucci handbags. And they go, good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. Good luck, everybody. I think they also looked at this ant hive and went, wow, these ants are psychos. They murder each other over people.
Yeah. Well, that was the other thing. Now that Trump has created the Space Force and literally we're trying to weaponize space, another government secret there. We're trying to weaponize space. But I was thinking maybe there's a positive in that. Maybe that will show peaceful aliens not to fucking get near this shit. Because we are fucked up.
I hope like peaceful aliens show up and go, okay, you're done. We just, all the guns and nukes are gone. We just, and anyone that fights us, we're going to teach you how to be nice, or we're going to just vaporize you and turn you into dust. Like you're just going to have to play ball and be nice. And anyone that's like, fuck you, these are my rights, you just get just vaporized. That's what I'm banking on, that they're going to show up and just like, everybody's gun, everybody's army gone, done. They just melt all the sociopaths, and all that's left are the good people. Yep, they just take them all out, and all the like billionaires and the wing birds. They're all just money, greed, war. Just like, okay, we got a special ship for you. And you just go on that.
It's right. It's right in that hole. Just go on, and get in there. Yeah,
like that scene in Goodfellas. No. It's just the.
It's just right.
Yeah.
It's right in there, yeah.
And then all of a sudden they realize they're standing on plastic. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And that's my hope for an alien.
But because this is a more evolved species of aliens that comes to do this, they compost the bodies.
Yes, and they sprinkle that, and that's what absorbs the CO2 is the dust of sociopaths. It's like those rocks you talked about.
I heard sociopath dust does take in a lot of carbon. So
they absorb the CO2, and it's great. But you can't plant them as seeds because then psycho trees grow, and we don't want that to happen.
That's really good to hear. Yeah. But, to go back to LA and California and everything, you do have to wonder at what point will people care? They literally can walk outside now and it tastes like burning. The world tastes like burning. Is that the point that you go, maybe this is kind of like all we should care about? Maybe this is like almost all we should be talking about is how to stop this and fix this and deal with this. It's
the whole vote any blue will do crowd. It's like Ice Cube said it the other day on his Instagram or Twitter or whatever. That's
where I go for most of my political thought.
He boiled it down. He goes, get something for your vote. I'm going to just give you my vote. Like it's if you're walking outside and you're smelling smoke and there's ash and the sky is orange, like fucking Blade Runner, and you think the Democratic Party, like you should be like, if I'm voting for you, crazy idea. I need to get something for my vote. Like I give you my vote no matter what. They have zero incentive. Like it's all anyone should be talking about. And the Democrats, they're going to save us. Yes, the Republicans deny climate. Dianne Feinstein told a bunch of Girl Scouts, get out of here. I know what I'm talking about. I'm smarter than you dummies. Like
the green dream or whatever it's called.
Yeah. If we don't deal with people need to really understand. I say this all the time. We fix everything else. Police brutality, the elections, money in pot. We fix all that stuff, but we don't fix the environment. It's over. It doesn't matter. None of it matters.
And that's why, the Gray Zone just did a great, it's like a real deep dive into the details behind Planet of the Humans, which was, you and I have talked about that before. It's a Michael Moore movie that has really caused a fucking major storm among the any blue will do crowd, among the big green neoliberals, because it there's certain parts about it that people can certainly get upset about, but the part that kind of the big green machine doesn't want to talk about is that most of them are working with large capitalist entities, either big banks or things like Bill McKibben keeps saying, divest from oil and gas. Yes, I agree with that part. And where are you going to put the money you divest from there? And he says, oh, put it in this green fund or whatever. And it turns out if you actually look into what's in the green fund, it's like fucking Halliburton, and it's fucking big banks, and it's all this shit. And he wrote this article, which I'm going to tear apart on the next Redacted tonight, but defending the Pentagon and how great the Pentagon is. And it's like, you cannot save the environment, stop climate change, deal with this while pushing massive capitalism. They do not go together. It is impossible. And so those people that tell you, hey, we're going to just invest in clean energy and keep eating the world consuming the world at a completely unsustainable rate, dumping fucking megatons of plastic into the oceans and cutting down all of the forests, but we're going to have solar panels while we do it. Anyone who tells you that's the solution, they're fucking lying to you. And they're trying to create they're trying to keep unfettered capitalism going while appearing to address climate change.
Yeah, absolutely. They just want to keep and it's the problem with so many of the neoliberals is they make nice 6, 7, and in some cases 8-figure incomes, but they think they're so woke because they, recycle and believe in gay marriage or whatever, but they're still just like, capitalism is awesome because I've benefited from it. I don't care that there's tent cities. I don't care that there's climate refugees in America today. I don't care that Californians and Oregonians and Washingtonians can't go outside and jog because it'll burn their lungs and they can't see the sun like the Lorax, for the love of God. It's more like, yes, Republicans are bad. Yes, all of Trump's cabinet is climate deniers, but they make that, they're obvious about it. At least they're very clear that they're the problem. The neoliberals are worse because they talk like they're all helping everybody, and they secretly do all this shit that you're talking about. Oh yeah, we got to get off of fossil fuel, but we'll make sure that Goldman Sachs is helping in on the process or whatever. Right. Great. Goldman Sachs. And they just, Liz Warren saying, I want to green up the military, Joe Biden's middle ground climate policy. Oh God, this is the middle ground climate policy of corporate Democrats. Is the West Coast is on fire and there's hundreds of thousands currently, could be more like millions momentarily, if not already millions of people are evacuating because everything's on fire and could lose their homes and not have anything to go back to.
Yeah. I mean, at what point will people realize that the voting between the two evils is not grand change? I mean, literally your world is on fire. Literally, you can't go outside and you can't see your family because of a raging pandemic and a environment that's melting down. And this is where voting between these two corporate, unfettered, capitalist, destructive parties that are really basically one party on 90% of the issues, this is where it's gotten us. And it's like, do you want to keep going down this path? Are you having a good time? Everything going well for you? Because this didn't start with Trump. I got bad news for you. I got bad news. If you think this started in 2016, you really have not been paying attention
at all. This has been going on. We've been talking about climate change seriously. I've been seriously following it for over 20 years. Everything everyone's been saying, we've been talking about this for years, and Obama had 8 years and did goddamn nothing. A little policy here and there, and that's what a Joe Biden presidency will do. He'll roll back a couple of the Trump deregulations, and then all the neoliberals will go, "Yay, we did it! We won, and we're going to pull him to the left." Yes, that's happened every time we've had a Democratic president. Obama, we didn't pull him to the left, but Clinton, nope, didn't pull him to the left. Jimmy Carter only had one term. LBJ, did we pull him to the left when he increased bombing in Vietnam? I don't think so. JFK, oh, he got pulled to the left by a fucking bullet coming from that. There's a left turning bullet that got him. Like no one is.
Actually, left turning bullet. Actually, JFK was one of the few that did turn to the left, and then he found the bullet.
Yeah, and his brother really wanted to go left, and they killed him for just thinking about going that left. So this is what happened. The pull left theory is more like, as I've said, like it's like go get a job inside a drug cartel and see if you can get them to stop dealing drugs and pull the drug cartel
change it from the inside. Yeah,
change it from the inside out.
To sum all this up, folks. Invest in gas masks, all right? Because I think you'll make a lot of money. That's and really what we're trying to do here, this podcast, we're trying to do it every week, just help you make lots of money.
Yeah, that's what this is about.
Yeah.
Just boom, money. In all seriousness, though, I always say this: vote with your dollars, invest in actual green projects and green energy, buy products that are green, and I would suggest, this is my just personal thing, I get more into cryptocurrency because it takes the power away from the centralized governments like the Federal Reserve and the assholes like Goldman Sachs.
This, I mean, fucking up centralized banking is a noble pursuit.
Yeah, it is, because somewhere in the West Coast being on fire, there's central banks that helped create this or profit from it somewhere. There's no way they're not involved in some capacity. There's no they and big oil are one and the same. I mean, they heavily invest in big oil, which gives big oil the money to then put in pipelines that cost billions of dollars so that they can then exploit this oil, and the centralized bankers, which run our government, they give big oil billions in subsidies. So yeah, it's one and the same. Yeah. We talked about Governor Brown in California, talked about high-speed rail between LA and San Francisco. Never got finished, but we always got money for pipelines. Gavin Newsom, the big hero of the left, on April 24th in the middle of the pandemic, well, everyone was praising him. Oh, he's doing his job as the governor. He's just doing his job. It's so funny. Like, government's so bad that when a guy just does what he's supposed to do, everyone thinks he's some sort of hero that can walk on water. But while he was doing his job, oh, by the way, he approved a bunch of fracking permits. So that's
something like 350 fracking events since he got into office.
So this notion, like we should have high speed rail. I mean, California, like we should have all this stuff in place, and we have prisoners
fighting the fires.
Prisoners, they get $1 a day. Anyway, I think that's a wrap on Government Secrets episode Mauve.
I think it should be episode Orange in honor of the skies in California.
God, it's unbelievable. So, Lee Camp, where can people find all your business?
Yeah, everybody, don't forget to please share this. Tell everybody to to listen to Government Secrets. I know that those of you here now enjoyed watching it, but please let everybody know about the podcast. I think, podcasts are obviously easier because you don't have to tune it in any time or anything like that. We are now on all of the platforms, I believe, except for Piddlywinks. We haven't gotten on there yet, but I think it's coming. Twitcher Doodles, we already did that one, I believe. We're on there. But yeah, all my other stuff, you just go to leecamp.com. My comedy special is free to watch. You can watch it tonight at leecampamerican.com. I have another podcast called Common Censored, and I have a TV show called Redacted tonight, but the easiest thing is just to go to leecamp.com.
Nice, folks. Of course, like Lee said, download the audio. If you're just watching the video of this, please download the audio, because that's a free way to support the show, because the downloads, that analytic, that number helps us, and it helps support the show, and also writing positive reviews on platforms like iTunes that have
you can just push a positive review out of your sphincter, that would help us a lot. No. Just push it out.
Just push it out. Just don't constipate your love of this show. Really thrust it out, squeeze it out through the rectum of your social media. And and then like, share, and subscribe, and do all that stuff. And of course, I have a show, Political Vigilante. We go live like 4 or 5 days a week at YouTube. Also, I'm on rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, which is a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. Check that out. And then you can donate to me, and I have a PayPal button, all these great things you can do. I have a P.O. box. If you go to grahamelwood.com, all my social media is there. Check it out. So that's Government Secrets. End of episode.
Episode number unknown.
Episode number unknown. Yeah. Government Secrets.
All right, man. I will see you next week.
All right, buddy. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Later. Late camp, everybody. Yeah, I put Cat B's comment on there. If they can help me breathe, they can have my vote. Cat, I hope you're well. I know you're in Oregon. Backyard Politics is in Oregon. Anybody, I hope you're doing well. People in parts of California, of course, as well. I hope everybody is staying safe out there, because it's pretty gnarly, folks. So we've got 192 likes, 193 people watching. Let me read through the super chats, folks. Matt S. Shave your knuckles for justice. Happy Friday, my main man. Matt, thank you so much. You consistently support the show, and I really appreciate it. Den McCartney. Den, how are you? Thanks for the Rockfin heads up. Yeah. So I figured out how to, I've been this past week, I've figured out, and I've been simulcasting, I've been simulcasting on Rockfin. So big shout out to Jonas, Denny, Angry Gen X Lady, JVB, for watching on the Rockfin right now. LJL, Shave your knuckles for justice. Damn it, I missed the intro. I'll give you one right now. It's Government Secrets, episode unknown. There you go. LJL, thank you for watching the show. And thank you for supporting the show. And I appreciate everybody that's doing the super chats here. You hit the dollar icon. It's a great way to support the show. And as I've said, there's other great ways. Like there's also a Political Vigilante podcast. I always forget to mention that. So I take the audio of these live streams and I give it to Patreon at the $5 level and Rockfin early. And then 3 days later, it gets released. So that's another great free way. I understand. I appreciate the money and the donating. You can donate on Venmo at Graham-Elwood, the PayPal button, the P.O. box, Patreon, and Rockfin are all money ways to support. And if money is tight, I get it. So I always want to say there's great free ways. So download the Political Vigilante podcast. Because again, download numbers help. Positive reviews on iTunes help. So do that especially if you consume on iTunes, because Apple really tracks those analytics. And when a podcast episode gets a lot of downloads and a bunch of likes and positive reviews, then they push it out more. Lee's joke. So that's a great free way to support the show. Melissa H, what's up? Shave your knuckles for justice. 9/11 memorial every year. No memorial for dead in Afghanistan. I know. I mean, I met wounded soldiers in Afghanistan. When I was there in 2006 in Afghanistan, we flew back when the tour was over. Me and Shema Tosh were on a C-17 that went from, I think we were in Bagram. We went from Bagram up to Kyrgyzstan, and there was, coffins on our plane. It's gnarly, man. T. Ada, Shave your knuckles for justice. Love you guys. Please keep dropping the truth, my friends. You got it. Matt S. Boom. Please consider building a proper streaming PC. Here's some dough to help. Please follow Paul's Hardware and Linus Tech Tips for guidance. Ascend. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll do that to get a PC to just handle all my streaming. Yeah, I'll do that. I've been working on that. I appreciate the support, Matt. I really do. Kate, what's up? Kate's our moderator. The moon, Trump, and Biden want it privatized and opened up for mining minerals and 03. What could go wrong? I know. These guys are just psychos. They literally they want to go mine the moon. Like, what is wrong with, like, I always feel like Charlie Sheen's character in the movie Wall Street, where he just says to Michael Douglas as Gordon Gekko and goes, when is enough enough? Like, how many yachts do you need to water ski behind? Like, it's never enough. It's just crazy. God, we got to mine the moon. Like, how much is that going to cost? Anybody I can ask that question? Christopher Walker, shave your knuckles for justice. Tragic to see our beautiful forests on fire. The San Joaquin Valley, which I live, is unbreathable air, and we still have idiots denying climate change while record temps and square footage increase. Yeah, I don't know. I think the people that are still denying climate change that live in California and Oregon, you have to treat them like the people on the Titanic that were like singing and dancing when the ship hit the iceberg. You just got to like forget them, just leave them and go find people that are like, just go to the people that are like looking for solutions. And you just have to say, I want real Green New Deal for my local politicians, my state, my county, my federal, everybody. And if you're not down with real climate change, you're out. That was one of the things why I was like such a Bernie supporter, is he had the Green New Deal, and why I liked Tulsi as well is she wrote the OFF Act. And I was like, without a real Green New Deal, we have no chance. So any of this fucking hemming and hawing and carbon offsets and bullshit policy from the 80s, I don't want to hear it. My state's on fire. My state is on fire. So do something. Cardinal Sin, shave your knuckles for justice. The real story. Nature bats last. Search on it. Yeah, I know. Nature bats last. Gina G, what's up, Gina? Good to see you, sweetie. Thanks for supporting the show. I'm a goddamn rocket scientist who works at a company that makes the satellites that saw and confirmed climate change, but people will still debate. Jesus. Sounds like fake science to me, Gina. But I think my American Eagle hat will protect me from climate change, and my AR-15. So when the skies are burning and I can't breathe and there's no more breathable oxygen, my AR-15 will protect me. That I know. That I know. I know. It's fucking maddening, Gina. Christopher Walker, as the immortal Technique song Bin Laden says, Bin Laden didn't blow up the projects. Bush knocked down the towers. Tell the truth. 9/11 inside job. Yeah, I know. That's the other thing. Like all this, like we say this all the time, but Bin Laden and all these bad guys out there, Putin and everybody else. All right. Yeah. We did that video yesterday on the police in Philadelphia dropping the bomb on the MOVE organization, which was a bunch of activists. They dropped and set them on fire and killed them. Philadelphia police did that. Not Al-Qaeda, not Philadelphia police did that. Standing Rock? Was that Bin Laden? Oh, no. That was the United States government. Matt Est. What's up? Shaving knuckles for justice, Matt. I've realized no one really denies climate change. They just succumb to apathy. Even the right feels like we should adapt. Just adapt. Oh, God. We can't just shoot the pollution? I think you should be able to. It's my Second Amendment right to shoot pollution. I'm going to just shoot these clouds with my AR-15. 209 likes. Right on. Right on. Also from the LAPD have about 9 helicopters, but we can't have Medicare for all. Yep. Look up Colbert Report Dancing Israelis. It's a 17-minute video. Okay. Dams cost them too. Ruby Ridge, Waco, True, Kent State. Some of the other water shortage in Cali is due to Alpine Glacier retreat. Yep. Gina G. What's up, Gina? Thank you for supporting the show. Gavin Newsom is Nancy Pelosi's nephew, of course. They're all this maggots. They're all this filthy blue blood country club maggots. They're maggots. It's all corrupt. They're all just helping each other out. And they're so corrupt that when they do something halfway decent, everybody goes, he's so Gavin Newsom's so amazing. Like, okay. It's like you grew up in this abusive household with drunk, violent parents. And when one of your parents actually does something nice and loving, you think, wow, they're so amazing. It's like, no, they had one moment where they weren't shitty. There's a difference between someone that's consistently really good and someone that's always awful, that just once you're so starved. It's like you're so thirsty that like drinking water out of a dog bowl would taste good if you hadn't had water in 3 days or whatever. No one denies climate change. 90% of actual climate scientists deny man-made CO2 climate change. Check out the climate discussion nexus. My gun-toting cousin shoot clay pigeons for his baby gender reveal. Jesus. I'm sorry. Politicians used to retire at a decent age. Something about this generation of politicians that will not let go of power until they're dead. I hate to say it. Yeah, it's these power-hungry baby boomers, and I don't like, because I know there's a lot of baby boomers that watch. I don't like, oh, it's all the boomers' fault. I'm not doing that, because I think that the kind of the gender battle, or not gender, but the generational battle is part of the way to keep us divided. But these people will not let go of power. They think they're going to live forever, and they don't care, and they're just awful. Biden, Trump, the Clintons, they're awful human beings. They're despicable. They're power-hungry, narcissistic sociopaths. They're at any age. That's true. Yeah, like Pete Buttigieg is nuts. He's a millennial sociopath. And they really, really want to win office. Think about who runs for president every cycle. Aegis battles, like, yeah. See Event 201 and Harry Voss News 2014. Rockefeller pandemic documents are living now, yeah. We should put garlic in these politicians and see what happens. Pelosi's freezers are just for ice cream. They're for cryogenic chambers also. All right. Oh, man. Boom, shalak-a-lak, boom, 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 boom. Okay, so there is something I want to talk about. Brian Scott, boom. Thank you for supporting the show. My friend sent me this. Okay. No, just sorry. 219 likes. Okay. Hold on. BA, shave your knuckles for justice. Hi, Graham. Still waiting for somebody to create that Obama Biden speech compilation. I'm sure nobody watching knows how to edit videos like that. Keep smiling. The world needs more positive energy. You got that, brother. I'm gonna try to keep it positive on this show. That's why we do government secrets. We talk about serious stuff and what's going on. And obviously what's happening in the West is very serious with skies like this in California and Oregon. And it's scary, but we're going to, yeah, I'm going to do a positive thing right now in a sec. Wendy Melee, what's up? Shave your knuckles with justice. Screw the CIA and the military industrial complex. Amen. But they're keeping us safe, Wendy Melee. Come on. Don't you want your freedoms protected? The people that are taking away. I'm Beats. I'm just going to watch the show and not be in the chat. All right, Melissa, you rest up, kitty. What do I call you, kitty? Hey, kitty cat. Wow. I was trying to say kiddo. I don't know what I'm doing. Thanks, Melissa. All right, we're going to do this segment here. Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching the Political Vigilante. So this show, I'm obviously a comedian first and foremost. I've been one for a long time, and I try to do stuff that's fun and funny. And I've even done some characters like Granny Petrol, which is based on a real person. And I've done the character Shimshay. And Shimshay is a character I started doing about 10 years ago at some comedy shows in LA. And he's based on a real guy. Who's this like new age musician, and I don't know him personally. And when I started doing this show, especially when the lockdown started, I was going live 5 days a week, and Ron and I were doing the Zoom shows. I started doing the Shimshay character and really made him into this like neoliberal guy. I don't know the real Shimshay musician's actual politics. I don't know his actual politics. He might be a lefty socialist like us, like me. I don't know. But I just found out him and his wife, they live in Northern California, and they lost their home, and there's a GoFundMe for it. And I don't ever want to be mean on this show. Unless you're like billionaire ruling class, Ghislaine Maxwell, then I don't care about your feelings. But I just wanted to, first and foremost, I wanted to put his GoFundMe up here and read it for everybody because, it's scary what's happening in California, and people are losing their homes. And I don't want anyone to think that I was like trying to be mean about this specific guy. I took his name, Shimshay, and I wore dreadlocks, and he used to have dreadlocks, I think. But he's an artist, and I'm not, I'm not a musician. I'm not making fun of him and his art. I just took his name, and that sort of new agey people that I see charge all this money. And I don't know that he does that. I'm not saying he personally does that. I just sort of took his name and his sort of online persona and ran with it. But I don't, I saw this, a friend of mine sent me this the other day, and this just breaks my heart. And I don't want to be mean to someone especially who's lost their home in the state of California that is on fire. And so I just wanted, this is him and his wife. And I think they live up in Mount Shasta. So this is the updates. We got to visit the property the other day under sheriff's supervision. We looked for Leo. So I think Leo is their cat who's been missing since the property burned down. So it's like, I can't, and I'm going to put this link in the chat. So, the show is about helping people, and he doesn't deserve to be made fun of, especially now. And so, I just want to read this because it breaks my heart. They left them food and assessed damages in person. It's pretty hard to fathom the level of destruction until you see it right in front of you. The only things that survived the fire were a retreat entrance gate and sweat lodge, which didn't burn but was crushed by a fallen tree. As much as we are heartbroken, it is hard not to be in awe of the sheer force of nature in these events. We hope to have more good news as soon as we get clear on what's. Thanks again, each and every one of you. And then I think these are posted by his wife. We have just confirmed that our beautiful temple has been lost to the flames, along with the retreat kitchen, herbal shop, bathrooms, and all. Thanks to our sister Arisha, who got these photos while they're considering search for our cat Leo. And then he there's a song. So we're just gonna play this. This is the Fire Relief Fund update.
So we want to say thank you to everyone who supported our cause so far. It really, really means a lot to us to know that we have the community's love and support in this challenging time that we're going through. We really are learning to make the best of all the possibilities and the experience. And most importantly, we're all safe. And this is a good reminder that we're home wherever we are. I believe in the essence of love. We are letting go of thy heart is, and there it shall be. Home is where thy heart is, and there can be free to dwell in the light of the one I believe. Home is where thy heart is eternally. Home is where thy heart be free to dwell in the light of the one I believe. Home is where thy heart is eternally. Home is where thy heart is, and there it shall be. Home is where thy heart is, and there can be free.
Okay, well, there's like another minute or so of the song. So I just, you know, the intention of this show is never to be mean. And, you know, I'm not going to. The goal of when I started doing the character on this show, it was really just showing the sort of, and I'm not saying he does this, I don't know the man personally, but the people who sort of in the new agey world exploit things, and I just used his name and all of that. So, you know, it just breaks my heart that they lost their home and they don't know where their cat is, and yet he still can play this song that's about, you know, home is where the heart is. So if you feel like, if you only had money to give to my super chat today, give it to him and his wife. Because, you know, it's very, they're still very positive, and the fact they can't find their cat is just like, it's just heartbreaking, man. So I'm just looking at, you know, this is Shimshay and Susanna and their family have been safely evacuated and are now facing the reality that they've lost their home due to lightning sparked fires that swept through Boulder Creek area where they live. As some of you know, La Ventana was not only their personal home and refuge, but also the land and sacred space for all their work. This loss is devastating. Their home, music studio, herbal workshop, and treehouse cabin completely burned. The status of the yurts is still unknown. Shimshay and Susanna have dedicated their lives to supporting their community, and this is how our opportunity to give back to them. Their home was insured, but their retreat center, music, and herbal business are gone, and it's unclear what will be covered by the insurance in that time. So, you know, it's a, you know, I don't think he even knows who I am, but like Shimshay, if you have ever, if you know if you watched me do the Shimshay character, you know, it's nothing personal to you, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just watching you sing a song when you've lost your home is like heartbreaking and heartwarming. It's heartbreaking you lost your home, and heartwarming that you are still able to then talk about home is where the heart is and where the love is and all that stuff. So I apologize. I felt like an asshole when I heard that you lost your home, that I've, you know, done this character with your name that's making fun and stuff like that. So I hope you find your cat, and I hope everybody can donate to this. So shave your knuckles for justice. Whew. Yeah. I just like, God damn it. So, like, Granny Petrol is a real person too. And I did the origin story of Granny Petrol on this show. Granny Petrol is this woman who's hired by Friends of Science, which is a climate change denial organization that is funded by big fuel companies to push all this bullshit. So I'm pretty mean, but I still wouldn't want Granny Petrol's home to burn to the ground. But Jim Shea's never done anything mean or harmful to anybody. He's a nice, peaceful dude. And, yes, I poke fun of some of those hippies and stuff like that. I definitely poke fun of them because it's comedy. Everybody deserves a pie in the face, but, the guy doesn't deserve that. So, you guys are getting a crazy blinking screen. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, so that's the show. Hippies can be cool. Neoliberal wannabe hippies, not so much. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Is like, the real hippies, man, especially the ones that really were in the sick, they were like revolutionaries. They were like activists. They were socialists. They were like, and then, like a lot of things, it got co-opted. And today it's almost just like some people, it's just like fashion and, again, like these yoga studios in LA, and I love practicing yoga, but like they have all these expensive retreats, and yoga just in the big cities seems like it's just for like wealthy people, mainly like rich white women. And in LA, it's like there's South Central and all these communities, of color that there's no yoga down there. They can't afford it. No one's doing like free or donation-based yoga classes in like South Central. They're not doing that. And then everyone acts shocked when there was riots and looting in Santa Monica. And it's like, well, if I lived in South Central, and I've been there because this kid I was a little brother to, his grandmother lived there, and I'd pick him up there on there all the time. And then I'm driving around that neighborhood. I'm like, it doesn't have yoga and Pilates and smoothie shops and expensive clothing and, Reiki healing stores. And it doesn't have any of those things in the hood. It just doesn't. It's got check cashing. It's got liquor stores. It's got pawn shops. It's got fast food. And it's like, I see why people got mad. Rioting and looting is like the voice of people who've been oppressed and have been denied and have been not given access to stuff. And I can see people came to nice Santa Monica and went, shit, look at all this nice stuff. Matt S. Good dude, Graham. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that, man. Gina Gal 9, boom. Love you, Graham. Love you too. Thank you so much. Your super chat was skipped. Where was your super chat skipped, Gina? Was it? Oh shit, there was a couple that were skipped. All right, I'll get to it. The cynical syndicalist, shaving knuckle for justice. How do you square a guy like Bill Cooper who called 9/11 and the government scapegoating bin Laden months before, and then he was killed by a cop that November? I know there's a lot of crazy shit surrounding 9/11. There's a lot of crazy shit surrounding 9/11. And there's a lot of questions that deserve to be asked. Yeah. Oh, I think I missed this. Oh, I see, Gina, the one I missed. I'm sorry. Yeah, and then yeah, sorry, Gina. That one, shit. All right, here's Gina's other one. Gina, shaving knuckles for justice. You should do a corporate Dem character with your Pelosi impression. I die laughing every time you do it. Also, do you have any more vigilante? Oh, yeah, I should do more. Ron, it's Nancy Pelosi, and I'm here in my wine cave. Yeah, I'll do that. Absolutely. No, we're all out of, I sold all of the vigilante, and we'll probably do another round of it close to the holidays. But that's why when I do the tea, I do a limited run, and I'm like, you got to get it now. But we'll do more. But if you just want good loose leaf tea, go to zhitea.com. They have a fantastic website and great tea. You want to make me a smoothie sometime, Gina? I would love your smoothie. Since you're a scientist, it'll be a science smoothie. But is science real? Right? Science, is it really real? They do yoga now in the army? Oh shit. I'm having problems liking punk styles. I'm 40 and all my clothes are trashed, and I like it, but others think I'm homeless. Graham, if everyone had half the empathy that you have, the world would be in good shape. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Well, thank you. We got to try to have more empathy, man. It's easy to be consumed by anger. Yeah, it's easy to be consumed by anger. But that's why we need more ice cream. This is Speaker Pelosi. The best way to resist Donald Trump is by everybody getting their own third ice cream fridge. Meow. Wow. Matt Boom, you and Ron Christmas show? Oh, yes. A socialist Christmas special, we'll call it. We're talking about making Christmas songs. I've been talking, Ron and I are going to do a Christmas album. It's time for a socialist Christmas. Nobody gets presents because everybody's got a job. No, I don't know what the song would be. Now I'm just trying to think like Dean Martin. Yes, we are going to do that. Gina G, what's up, sweetie? No worries, Graham. I'm almost out of the tea. I also worked at Jamba for 5 years. Oh, I love Jamba Juice. I love Jamba Juice. I love it. Jamba Juice, government secret. Pew, 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 pew. Gina, we are making smoothies for everyone in the Democratic Party. I'm going hungry. Did I shave? Yes, I did shave today. Smooth. Look at that. Smooth. Special guest Tony Orlando and Don. Merry Socialist Christmas with a special track, Milk and Cookies, and a t-shirt. Whiskey and a t-shirt and an old suitcase. I'm dreaming of a Medicare for all Christmas, just like the ones they have in Europe and Canada and Australia. May all your Christmases. I'll watch that even though I'm a dirty capitalist. It costs 32 cents to make a smoothie. And may all your Christmases, I'm dreaming of a Medicare for all Christmas, just like the ones they have in Europe. Tom Perez won't turn on that big smoothie money. And space. You let me come on for Government Secrets Jamba edition. And space. Yeah, you got that. Don't hold up. Canada is a good healthcare example. I live in Canada, and Bernie's Medicare for All sounded like an awesome improvement over what I have. Well, sure, but what you have is still better than what we currently have. Bernie's Medicare for All was a good plan, but what we currently have in America is horrific, and I would gladly take what you got in Canada over this. So is that how you got your science degree, Gina? Was you studied at Jamba Juice University? I'm joking. I'm not. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. God, that sounds like some sort of white nationalist thing. I live in Europe. It's nice that during the midst of COVID, no one person here is worried about how to pay for it if they get sick. Did Lee Camp leave? Yes, he did. All right, folks, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to take tomorrow off, but I'll be back Sunday, 3 p.m. Pacific. I will have Richard Idris on the show, who's going to talk about how you can get involved in the draft Jesse movement and be an elector in the state of California. Now, if you follow me on Twitter at Graham Elwood, I tweeted this out from Richard Idris, and we have a small time window to get this done, to get him on the ballot. So the Green Party got him on the ballot in Alaska. What if we got him on the ballot in California? That would be fantastic. So Matt S. Your voice over the Nancy Pelosi fridge pick sells the whole bit. Thank you so much. I know. Thank you. Preston Garvey, stay black. You got it, brother. Webb and Kate for president, right on. It's such a false choice to choose between bankruptcy or death. Those are the things. All right. Tune in Monday, peopleforjesse.com. Well, look who's back. Sammy Dean. How you doing, brother? Sing Staying Alive as Sean Connery. And please, please, please tell us all a quick joke. You rock, mate. Thank you. All right. I'm going to do Staying Alive as Sean Connery. I'm staying alive. What are you, weak? All right. You got that. Oh, you got a super chat left? Where? Oh, yeah, I got your super chat, Matt, right? Boom, 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 boom. Let me make sure I didn't miss any of the super chats. Okay, we got all of them. Okay, cool. I don't want to miss anybody. All right. Staying alive as Sean. Tell us a joke. Shout out to Kate. Give Kate some love. Sam Dean, hello. I've been getting high, so I don't know if I read it yet. Oh, next December, are you going to do an Elvis Christmas show? I'm going to do something like that. All right. Yeah, something happened on Rockman. Okay, let's do the Staying Alive as Sean Connery. Staying Alive karaoke. Brothers Gibb. They're an Aussie band, if I'm not mistaken. Getting hungry. I'm going hungry. Oh, God. Enough with the ads. Says the guy that asked everybody to watch his ads. Hold on. Hold on. StreamYard. Smoothies rock. Graham is relatively safe from the fires, am I right? Ain't many forest fires. Yep. But you can see it and smell it. It's brutal. What do you call a bull playing with himself? Beef stroganoff. Ha! Oh. Nice. Oh, two peanuts walking on the street. One was assaulted. Nice. Matt S. Boom. Sorry. Can you link to the tea company again? Yeah. ZT. I'll put it in the chat right here. ZHITEA.com. They have amazing loose leaf tea, and Jeffrey's an awesome dude. So he's a big lefty. So you're supporting you're supporting one of us. The Gibbs are from the Isle of Man and later lived in Australia. Well, thank you for that. That we didn't know that. See, this show is informative. All right, here we go. Wait, shit! I always forget share screen. Oh, sorry. Oh. Buttons, I'm pressing buttons. I do like this.
Well, you can tell by the way I use my walk, I'm a woman's man. No time to talk. Music loud and women warm. I've been kicked around since I was born, Miss Moneypenny. It's all right. It's okay. You may look the other way. We can try to understand the New York Times effect on a man. Whether you're a brother, whether you're a mother, you're staying alive, staying alive. Hill City breaking. Everyone is shaking. We're staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. You went to high school? Did you graduate? Well, Miss Moneypenny. Well, now I get low, I get high, and I get either. I really try. Get the rings of heaven on my shoes. I'm a dancing man, and I just cut loose. You know, it's all right. It's okay. I'll live to see another day. we can try to understand the New York Times effect on him, and whether you're a brother, whether you're a mother, you're staying alive. Staying alive. Feel a city breaking and everybody's shaking like a martini shaken, not stirred. Staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive. Alive. Remember, Highlander, we came from the planet's east. Life's going nowhere. Somebody help me. Somebody help me. I'm a money man. Life's going nowhere. Somebody help me. Yeah. I'm staying alive. Well, you can tell by the way I walk. I'm a woman's man. No time to talk. Music loud and women warm. I've been kicked around since I was born. And now it's all right. It's okay. You may look the other way. We can try to understand New York Times effect on a man. Whether you're a brother, whether you're a mother, you're staying alive. Staying alive. Feel the city breaking and everyone is shaking. We're staying alive. Miss Money Penny, staying alive. Staying alive, Miss Money Penny. Remember, Highlander. Life's going nowhere. Somebody help me. Somebody help me now, Q. Help me with the gadget. Life's going nowhere. Somebody help me. With the martini shaker, that stuff. Life's going nowhere. Somebody help me. Somebody help me. Life's going nowhere. Somebody help me. Yeah. I'm staying alive. Bond. James Bond. Life going nowhere. With Her Majesty's Secret Service. Somebody help me. Life going nowhere. Somebody help me. I'm staying alive. Life's going nowhere. Somebody help me. Somebody help me. Life's going nowhere. Somebody help me. I'm staying alive. Because I'm a Highlander. We're immortal.
That's the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Sound like an Irish or Scottish bloke down on his luck. Yeah. Oh, never said my impressions are good. Sean Connery's still alive. Thank you so much for that, Sam Dean. That was fantastic. Thank you, everybody, for watching the show. We had 285 likes. Outstanding. Not bad on a Friday when I know Jimmy was live. But as I said, Government Secrets, the full episode will be out Monday on the video and the audio side. And of course, this live stream, if you want to watch it in an archive, it'll be at Patreon at the $10 level and also at Rockfin. So I'm going to be pulling it down as soon as in the next hour. I'm rethinking an Elvis, Roger, and Dolly special for Christmas. Ron is Dolly. Thanks, Sam Dean. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Kate. Show her some love. Everybody, even the super chats, you're supporting what I do. I really appreciate it. Go send some money to Shimshay if you can. Remember, you're all political vigilantes. Vote with your dollars. You're making Gotham great again. and shave your knuckles for justice.